A poem of Kethrys by our very own tree. My mothers lived in the mangrove trees of Kethrys. They look no longer over the turquoise seas of Kethrys. They wed in the winter, and all they said in their marriage vows was, "She's of Kethrys." In the forests and oceans their laughter was heard. Their laughter's no longer in the breeze of Kethrys. When my mothers died, we made them earth. There's no such thing as the bees of Kethrys. They held monsters at bay with root and branch, but they were felled. Ending is the disease of Kethrys. In mirrored Uduasha we have forests of paper. Their leaves don't care for the pleas of Kethrys. My mothers are now tables and chairs, and you must know Uduasha will take all it can seize of Kethrys.
Uduasha City, where the sun is a mirror and the moon a shadow, where dancers cavort in forbidden operas, making love to forgetting and flaying, where the wealthy play at war with silver swords and silken sashes, where the people mine the dead heart of a burning star for cannonballs and pipework, and where 1,000 secrets hide in a forest of paper and ink. Here, the 5 keybearers reside, the 5 who know the secrets of the broken gates of death. 5 only. There is no 6th spire, forlorn and forgotten in the desert. There is no one who looks to the displaced, the poor and destitute and landless, whose ancestry has been stripped from them by foreign looms and foreign sparkcraft, and no one has ever heard of the House of Endings. But this is their story. Their roots pulled up and burned, they stand in filth up to their necks. And that is precisely why they must keep their heads ever high. Welcome to Uduasha, immigrant. May it fear the name of the house you will build. Welcome to Desperate Attune, an actual play podcast about characters with their identities in peril, played by an international cast devoted to fiction-first gaming, collaborative world-building, and complex character drama. Welcome to Desperate Attune, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the second season called The House of Endings, about a group of dispossessed immigrants from the city of Kethrys in Iruvia. And hopefully you've heard our session 0. We've introduced our characters already, but here are the players again, starting with Klow.
Hello, I am Klow.
And
G'day.
with us, yes, with us is also Tree, who is not Australian. Hello, Tree.
I am not Australian. I can say one word in Australian. You've heard it. Hi. Greetings. Hello.
Yes.
This is a deep cut community reference. The real ones will know.
Yeah, with me is also Emma.
I do not
Emma.
know, I'm not a real one.
Yeah. Sorry. You're a figment of my imagination. I
Yes.
was always afraid to tell you.
Okay. Tree has gone into solipsism again. Finally, Aadiyat.
Sorry.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Or should we say tree again?
Yes. Don't make this more confusing than it already is, okay? Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, we are here to start off a story about the House of Endings, or the people, family, village of the Ankhattam. The people from Khattam, a small village outside of / in Kethrys, in the east of Iruvia. And yeah, let's just briefly say a couple of words about the characters, and then we'll get started on our story. So, quick summary, Klow, of Bidruhi.
Okay. Bidruhi is a duelist. He used to be in a sword school called the Rising Moon, where he trained under his otherwise estranged father, who recently got killed in the events of season 1 of Desperate Attune. And now he is picking up the pieces, as it were. He dreams of glory, beautiful women, and exciting sword fights.
Excellent. And with Bidrohi is also his relative, Saida, played by Tree.
Yeah, Saida Ankhattam is, I think, technically related to everybody in the crew, but by technically, I mean distantly and sometimes in a fashion that does not involve blood, but rather involves being, from the same place. Saida is a very, I would say very old. She's somewhat old. She must be like 55 or 60. She uses she, they, and is from the same village, but has traveled in and throughout Aruvia for much of their life before returning to Kethrys, and in fact did once probably live in Uduasha many years ago. Saida is also a sword fighter, a sash fighter, but I don't think they would call themselves a duelist because Saida is not here to duel. The name of the class that I have given Saida is Idolater, because Saida is here to take names and make gods.
Excellent summary. Take names and make gods, indeed.
And I'm all out of gods.
Yes.
Yeah, damn, it's a problem.
It's true. Our next protagonist is Bidrohi's half-sister, called Moss on the Rung That Breaks Your Ankle, Ankhattam.
Also known as Moss, because the alternative would be exhausting. She is indeed Bidrohi's half-sister. She is the child born out of wedlock of his mother. Is from the same village as the rest of them, but when Bidrohi was born, there were some shenanigans with the airline, and she left and started to travel through Kethrys and did a bunch of was basically a person who did odd jobs in return for room and board. Now there's not a lot of odd jobs to do in Kethrys anymore with the whole situation. So now she is in Uduasha. The people here are familiar faces to her. The rest is unfamiliar. She feels a little bit lost, but that feeling is also not strange to her.
Mm-hmm. I do want to clarify for the listener that when you say airline, you're talking about Succession versus traveling by plane.
Yes. That is a good...
I thought you were going to say... Sorry, go on.
Clarification. That is a good and important clarification. The line of succession is the word I was looking for.
Yeah. There was an H in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Not where the hair recedes, right? Because I thought that's what I thought you meant.
Another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a falling out over someone's receding hairline.
Mm-hmm.
My father loves saying hair today, gone tomorrow. So, just FYI. I thought you might like to know that.
Yes.
Also, crucially, it was not a falling out. It was a necessity to some degree.
Yeah. And Moss is now here in Uduasha as one of our most recent arrivals, I think we said.
Probably.
Yep. And the last member of our crew to be introduced is Shankarabharanam, or Mushfiq.
Yes. Mushfiq, Shankarabharanam, yeah. So Mushfiq also recently arrived in Uduasha. He's from a remote village in Kethrys, and where he was under the tutelage of a sort of spiritual swordmaster. When the Kethrysi uprising really picked up, the master went off to volunteer in the militia, and Mushfiq and the other students followed in his wake out of loyalty to their master. And there they took part in all kinds of sabotage missions and things like that, which is where Mushfiq got the title Shankarabharanam, because presumably he was very fearsome. but the uprising was crushed and then scattered, and having nowhere else to go, he's washed up in Uduasha, and he's sort of just trying to find his feet in Bundervest.
You should let the listeners know what Sherikhatam means.
Oh yes, so Sherikhatam means, I suppose it would mean something like the tiger of the end.
Or Tiger of Khatam, which is also the name of the village where we're from.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Coincidentally.
I mean Khatam does mean coincidentally at the end.
Yeah.
Just a coincidence.
And
It's not like
yeah.
we can choose the name, right?
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
it just came to us in a vision.
Mhm.
And to be honest, one of the ways that I might think about Shere Khatam is not just tiger off the end, but also tiger off ending.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little like texture there which I really like, and I want to point it out for the listener.
Lovely. All right. With that, we are ready to start our story, I think. We have our players, and we have our scene. Uduasha, an ancient city in the heart of the Eruvian desert, built around a fallen star, in a grey sky with no sun, illuminated by a giant mirror that reflects the light of the well of fire at the bottom of the city in a crater. And I think our first scene is going to be kind of a flashback, actually, because this happens, well, maybe this happens 3 days before we get to the action, or some such, where we see, through the crowded streets of Bundervest, a man move. And Bundervest is a crowded district indeed. It is an old district now full of hovels, flop houses, houses crammed in where they can under the old fortifications of this ancient dock district, where the river pours into the city and then goes underground further down via the farming district of Gilly Gilly Gully, far below you. A man is walking along the river, dodging his way past crowds, past the dock workers, and this man is a handsome man of the people, Alkader Ankhattam, a member of your little tribe, a man from your family, and a man with ambitions and goals. And it seems today that he is in high spirits as he walks through the streets, and indeed, he keeps patting his vest. And he makes his way towards, I suppose, either your boarding house or your lair. Where do you think he is seeking for you? Where do you think he goes to find you? Your lair is not secret, but like, is that where you take guests?
I think so. I think
It
it's
better be.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Like, if it's not, then we're doing a bad job of letting people know that we have a lair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he makes his way towards the smithy that is your lair. Well, it was a smithy. Now it's just kind of a house that has a secret vault. That's about all it has going for it, really, and space to store your weapons.
Yes.
So what was once a smithy and a workshop, making useful things for the citizenry, today just kind of a rundown business in which you sort of squat. And we see Alkader make his way to the door, and then he sees that the door is open, and he leans and knocks on the door frame, and he says, "Brothers, anyone here? Hello?"
Yeah, I can answer the doors, I think. But he'll wait till
Cher,
the-
go get the door.
yeah,
That's what
I'm
you're for,
getting
right?
it. I'm getting it. And Cher has got sort of tired eyes. I think he perpetually has tired eyes and bedhead, and he saunters up to the door and just opens it, and he just goes,
Yes, Alkader smiles when he sees you, beams wide, and he says, you look tired, brother. If you're alone, take care of your thinking." And he pats you on the back. Come, I have to speak with you. Somewhere in private. Very private. This is important.
Just me?
Who is it?
Well, you see, brother, you are the one person I can trust, owing to that I saw you first.
So Cher turns back around, like, and so I'm new to town. I don't Like, okay, how well known is Alkader Ankhattam?
Yeah, he's a contact of your crew, and he trusts your crew,
Right.
and he trusts Moonlit primarily.
Okay.
But
All right,
I don't know
well-
if he knows. Maybe he doesn't know you very well. Maybe he's just being flattering. You know.
Okay, you know
I
what?
think
Maybe. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, you finish, then I'll say.
Okay, so like, maybe it's like early morning, like I'm tired. And he suddenly goes, oh yeah, right, yes, it's Alkader uncle.
Oh, it's Kader. Tell him to come in.
Yeah, you should come in.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have good news. I have such good news, and I can hardly wait to tell you, but we must wait. We must wait. You know, you can hide the truth, but you cannot run away from it. And he glances around. Who else is here?
Well, I think we've established that Saida's here.
Yeah.
I am on my way.
Uh-huh. Okay.
In fact, I think I stride through the door just now, and I say,
Yeah.
"Sir, that was very wise of you. Please, you look. Where did you? Where is this one from?" And I kind of like walk up to him, and then I kind of like touch his vest, and
Yeah.
I say, I love the damasking. Is it Ratul? Is it Ratul Dorji?
He gives you a wide smile and he says, if you love it, don't worry. Don't worry. We are all going to be able to dress in fineries very soon. Very soon. I just have one small favor to ask of you. You, my friends, the son of Moonlit Ankhattam, such a dependable woman. And where is your sister? He says, looking around. I presume that he kind of knows who all of you are. And I think it's also clear that he is flattering you, but he's also a little bit desperate for friends at the moment, which is why he's so overly friendly with everyone.
Yeah. I feel like Saida's the kind of person who knows this and is annoyed by it.
Yes.
But
he's doing his best to be as friendly as he can, so that's why he's asking for your sister, you see. Just, is she well?
Yeah.
Pirori sure is dependable, she says, leaning against the corner.
Just appearing, just was there all along.
Yeah. Perfect. He is unfazed. He looks away and he goes, oh, sister, so good to see you are well. We are all family, yes? All family. Yes. It so happens that I have the future for our people here in my pocket. But I can't hold on to it. I can't hold on to it myself. Don't get me wrong. Nobody's perfect. I need your help. But once I have your help, friends, beautiful things are going to happen. Okay? Beautiful things for our people. And he does his best to put on his, stentorian voice, look very impressive. And
Sir,
do
in
any of
this
you believe him?
vest, you are as close to perfect as we can get.
I think this is about the time that my character, Saida, will finally stride out. Because, these people have not brought him in to see them, so I guess I'll have to come out. And I'm probably barking orders at Bolt Murad to be go bring some chai or something. Just what is this? You're not even serving your guests or anything? And then she will come out and she will say, so what is this about? What is going on?
Well, I have here a piece of paper that is going to be the future of our people, and I need to keep it with someone trustworthy and someone who I know is family and someone who is good friends with me and would never betray one of the Ankhattam, and also, not to put a finer point on it, someone who has a vault. He says kind of sheepishly.
Yeah, great, fantastic.
That's quite dramatic.
Dramatic? Oh no. This is all just business, you see. May I see the vault?
I mean, it's fine by me. You should around questioning me.
Sir, we should take the paper
Yeah.
and we should keep it in the vest, and we should keep the vest in the vault.
That might work. Yes.
I think Mushfiq will step in.
I just want this vest, man.
Yeah.
Mushfiq will step in and said, yeah, uncle, I don't think you need to see the vault, but we might need to see the paper to put it in.
Of course.
Finally, one of them has a good idea.
I must stress, this is only because we are family, and because I'm a very good friend of your mother's, he says, as if to remind Vidrohi and Moss of this fact, which may or may not be true. It's up to you. But she is clearly the best friend he has at the moment, and she already said no, I think is the...
Yeah, I think
Or
yeah.
maybe had no place safe enough to store it, right? But he takes out from his vest a piece of paper which is still sealed. And there are two things you can make out about this piece of paper. The first is it's very, very fine. It is, some sort of personal letterhead. There's like some gold leaf to it, but it's folded up. And there is a seal on it. And the seal is Kethrysi. I don't think any of you recognize it immediately, but this is not like an Uduashan paper. This is not made out by the bureaucracy here. It's handwritten and very, very fancy.
Well, that sure is a letter.
Yes. Now, I have a contact with a countryman, a person from the old country who is going to save us all, and that person is going to need this letter. But unfortunately, I need it safe kept for a few days, no more than 2. I will be back the latest the day after tomorrow, and I will bring my friend, and it will all become clear to you. All become clear, and we are going to be finally have what we deserve again.
And
there is a long dramatic pause.
Yeah, I'm
Then
going to
he
fill the
says-
dramatic pause. I have no problem.
Go
Go on. Yeah.
ahead. Yeah, no, go on. If you're interrupting him, you're interrupting
Oh,
him.
I think I'm just going to fix him with a steely glare and say, and who are we safeguarding the paper from?
Oh, well, you know about Uduasha, my friend. Vultures. Vultures everywhere. I can't...
Vultures everywhere is... But I'm sure you know more than that.
I mean, they have been going through the trash, but I don't think vultures are attracted to papers.
Ah, my friend, he says, and he looks at Mushfiq, and it is clear that he has made he has done his homework, right? He's asked around before he went to you, and he says, this particular vulture is named Omid.
Oh. I think instantly Mushfiq's eyes just narrow into slits, and he just goes, Omid.
I'm gonna look at Mushfiq and say, somebody you know?
Harumph, says Mushfiq.
It's Mushfiq. It's Omid from Harumph.
Omid, everyone should know about Omid. He's been where hasn't he been? Like, this man has done he's committed every sin under the sun.
Everyone?
Yes.
Has he? Is he responsible for? And then she looks around and says, "The state of this lair, as you insist on calling it, is that his fault?"
Said Auntie, if he had a say in it, he would definitely have it this way. I swear, this man has a checklist, and he takes them off one by one. No good will come of this man. Alkader Ankhattam, say no more.
Look, if anyone's responsible for the state of this lair, it's Bald Murad. Just look at this, and there's a small commotion as Bald Murad comes in with the tea that he was asked to bring in.
What does Bald Murad look like?
He has...
Is he like a big guy?
Yeah, I think he's big, a little bit ungainly. I think he's one of those people that's like, he's graceful enough when he knows what he has to do. But like as soon as you disrupt his flow, he kind of just goes all over the place and it's a bit of a klutz. So and he's got like a big beard. So what I have done is, as he has approached with the tea, is I have strategically and in a way that Bald Murad is not aware that I did this. I have tripped him up very slightly, such that he has splattered tea all over the vest. And I'm like, oh, see what Bald Murad has done. Sir, just I know an amazing reckoner. It will be just and I'm like already taking the vest off, right?
Yeah, I think he's visibly nervous at this point, despite his bravado. So he says, "Yes, just take the vest. Just take the vest, my boy."
Well, Murad, you cannot be spilling tea when there's important documents and so on around. Like, just because neither of us can read it doesn't mean that the writing doesn't matter.
Oh, definitely not. Do not. Just keep that letter safe. Just keep that letter very, very safe. And I will be back tomorrow, or at the latest the day after tomorrow, and it will all work out. Friends,
Well,
brothers,
I know
sisters.
exactly what we're gonna do.
Uh-huh.
He kind of pipes up
Yeah.
and walks over to him and kind of like holds out a hand as if to like ask for the letter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think since he's still holding it, I guess he hands it over to you with a slightly pained expression. But I think you can read this man fairly well, and he's not necessarily trying to screw you over, right?
Yeah.
He is just kind of desperate for friends and in some amount of danger. So
Right.
he hands it to you.
And then she winks and says, "No, we cannot accept this. This is absolutely impossible, sir. You're going to have to find some other place to do business with. I'm sorry, we cannot. Go ahead." And she kind of like makes a big show out of ushering him out the door while keeping the letter, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Very
yeah.
good.
So yeah, he will be pushed out. He will willingly go ahead with this. He understands perfectly well what you're doing. He's shown out. And we see him like brush off his shirt without his vest outside, look back at the door, and kind of sniff the air. And then he smiles and walks off, just happily thinking wise words to himself.
Excellent. As you do.
He's drafting up new aphorisms. Meanwhile,
Yes.
I'm holding up the slightly tea-stained vest. And Tree, as a resident fabricsman, tell me about the sick loot I've acquired.
Oh man. Okay. I'm trying to think about Kader. He's come from Kethrys, right? So it's kind of like I feel like because he's come from the coast, he's probably wearing something that is traditionally like something you can wear in order to like go sailing in, right? So it's like not very well fitted because you need to be able to take it off if you fall into the ocean or something. But it is dyed sea green, and it has maybe the most interesting and impressive thing about it is that it has a very fine gold lining that has probably been like hand stitched onto the vest, right? And it's the kind of detail that's like you only know that it's there when you're wearing it. It's not for other people, but you know it's cool. It looks sick as shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially on me.
You probably wear it better.
Yeah. I think Saida will just say, okay, so you got yourself a vest. Well done, my son. Can you please now join us in discussing whatever this letter is? Moss, please, can you read it?
I don't know.
I think.
Let me take a look.
Are you opening it? Because it is sealed. So
Yeah, no, Saida's just like, no, you got to open it. Like, there's no question. Like, just do it.
yeah.
Is anything written on the outside?
No, it is clearly folded up with the intent of being delivered somewhere official and being opened there. But somehow you have a feeling it has probably not reached its official address, owing to the fact that someone has removed the envelope with the official address. So,
But it's sealed, yeah?
yeah.
Moth, if you're hesitating over opening this letter, then Mushfiq absolutely will snatch the letter from you eagerly and then like just rip it open without a care.
Excellent.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I was considering ways to like open it without breaking the seal, but there was not enough time.
Yeah. And look at it very eagerly. Shere Khatam is less of a tiger and more of a cat, apparently, with his curiosity.
Yes.
And
so you open this.
Oh no, he's a paper tiger. Ha ha.
Amazing.
Okay, he scans it very quickly. What's it written in?
Yeah,
Is it written in Hadrathi?
It's written in Hadrathi, and it's not a letter at all. It is a passport. In fact, it's more than a passport. It is a piece of paper that states that the holder of this document is a Kethrysi gentleman, a landowner. It does not come with any land attached, but it is, since the bureaucracy between the cities is not perfect, this is basically an officially sealed document from Kethrys indicating that you are a person of education, culture, letters, and land.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to squint at it, realize that I can't read Hadrathi, and then toss it to Saida.
Yeah. Yep. It definitely is very official looking. And yes, it is basically a passport.
Yeah. So I'm gonna peer at it, and like look, like kind of like read it very closely. Is there any benefit to rolling study here to see if I can figure out like maybe who? Yeah.
There is. There is a fortune roll here, and you can absolutely roll to figure something out about this.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna push myself because why not? And I think the reason this is stressful, by the way, is that like these are literally the people who tied up with the Uduashan money, right, to sell off all the land, right?
Yep.
And I think like as she's reading it, like it's she's getting more and more incensed, right?
Read it out.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. I think like it'll start as a mutter, and then like by the end, like they will just be yelling. And I don't know what it says, right? Like, and this person is of impeccable reputation. What does this mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah. It says things like that: impeccable reputation, pedigree, etc. And you roll a 6. Okay.
Yeah, no, but I didn't add my bonus, so I could crit. I did not.
Let's see.
But I could have.
Okay, so you roll a 6 to study this piece of paper. And I think you learn 2 important things. Since you rolled a 6, you can also have a question after this. But the first important things you learn is that 1, this is meant to be stamped by Uduashan authorities that they have received and recognized it. It is not yet stamped.
Okay.
And 2, the purpose of this document is a transfer of a title from Kethrys to Uduasha. Whoever has this document well stamped and all is basically recognized as not quite a foreign dignitary, but it's one of those like we recognize your form of nobility among our form of important people.
Excellent, very good. So as I get to the part where it says, we recognize with all attendant rankings and privileges, among the houses of whatever Kethrys, and I'm just like yelling this, and I have to like physically restrain myself from crumpling this up into a tiny ball. And I look at the other 3 and I say, tell me, children, why are we helping a man who seeks to hide the proof of the theft of our land?
Are we just looking down at our toes and
I think so.
I'm not looking down at my toes. I'm looking at myself in the mirror and say, a man of impeccable breeding and who is able to pass as a foreign dignitary, and I mean, I turn around at everyone and say, I could pass as such.
Needless to say, having this document without actually being a Kethrysi gentleman is very, very high degrees of identity theft and forgery. This is
100%.
This is a very dangerous document to have if you are not meant to have it.
I mean, we can just fake it till we make it.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm gonna look at Moss, and I'm gonna say, now here is a lesson that you must learn about being an elder sibling. I understand that you haven't had much of an opportunity, so pay attention. And then I'm going to look at Bidrohi, and I'm going to say, you moron! You don't know anything about being a gentleman. What the hell are you doing? Take that vest off now before I beat you with it.
Actually, I know many things about being a gentleman.
Auntie, go easy on him. He's learning. He's a young boy.
Such as...
Listen?
With,
yes, please. Yeah, demonstrate.
Yes. So with a vest like this, and then he takes off his flower crown.
Yeah.
It is more appropriate for the flowers to be arranged as such, and then he sticks it onto his lapel.
The entire crown, right? Like as a big ring.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Moss
I'm
will
just
kind of gesture at him like, see, he knows what he's doing.
yeah.
I don't think I need
So,
to berate him of any sort.
Indeed.
Listen, we
And I'm
have
just
a
gonna say-
document. Sorry,
Hmm.
you can finish.
Oh no. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna sigh, and I will say in Kethrys we don't have flowers like those, and a vest like that would not be appropriate for wearing flowers at all. How are you going to be a Kethrysi gentleman if you don't know what a Kethrysi gentleman even? I must calm myself, and I'm gonna grab
Auntie.
some tea.
Listen. It's first of all, and then I kind of throw you one of the flowers. It is made of paper. Second of all, the people that this document will be, the people who will be looking at this document, they don't even know where Kethrys is. I am just saying that there might be opportunity here for us to use this document, should it come to it. But I do not really understand yet what such a use for it might be. But on the other hand, if Mr. Alkader wants to use it to further the Kethrysi cause or whatever he's going to say, by which he really means his own cause, I mean, why not? Perhaps it will help us a little bit.
What do you think Omid wants with it? She asks Mushfiq.
Ooh, okay, out of character, good question. What? Because this is because Alkader didn't really specify anything.
Nope.
He just dropped
Just-
the name Omid.
Yes.
Yeah.
So also,
Yeah.
I think now Mushi's gonna go. Okay, yeah.
Who is this
that's-
Umid?
Look, when I was fighting back in Kethrys, everywhere we went, right, he was there. We're trying to hit a supply line. Who's behind us? Hold with his long rifles. It's Omid. We're trying to sabotage a Radiant farm. Omid's mercenaries are already there guarding it. And when he's not there to foiling our plans, he's there looting villages. He's there burning crops. This man is the devil himself in human form. And now I don't know what he wants with this form, but all I know is he cannot be allowed to have it.
A good
Sounds
answer.
like there is a lot of sexual tension.
I'm going to give Bidrohi the most puzzled look.
Yeah.
Listen, Bidrohi knows all about sexual tension with rivals. That's the entire point of having a rival.
Indeed.
Yeah. I think Saida will just let out a sigh again, hand the letter to whoever's there. I guess the person who is closest to her is probably Mushfiq. And I think then they will say, I have to speak to somebody about this. Don't follow me. And then she will look at Moss and say, you have the key, right? Because they live together.
Wait, what?
Don't
The key for what?
Moss and Saida live together? I thought we established that.
I have a vague recollection that we did, yes.
Okay. So I think that there is one house key, and we have to share it constantly.
Fair.
So she's basically saying, you have the key, right? In order to say, I expect to be home after you. So, you're going to have to let me in the house.
Yeah, I got the key. It's fine.
Great. I think they just say, I'm going on my own. Don't follow me unless you want to be eaten by some kind of ritual monster.
Well, we wouldn't want that, eh?
No, you wouldn't. It would be bad for your complexion. And then they just walk out the door.
And as you walk out the door, I turn to Moss and say, so you are going to follow her, right?
She throws you the key. It leaves.
Nice.
And meanwhile, I turn to Mushfiq and say, okay, this Omid fellow, if he is such a bastard as you are saying, then we can find out things about him in this city, yes? Did you even know he was here?
He is? Well, of course he is. He's everywhere I go.
Well, I mean, it is implied, I suppose, if he is chasing after this thing. And I shake the letter around.
Yeah.
But yes, it clearly he is obsessed with you, and he desires you very much. Yes, we should arrange a meeting between the two of you so that you can work out your feelings.
Oh, I don't know if I can
And I
even bear to look at this man.
And I think it's like really difficult when you look at Bidrohi to be like, when he's actually like, does he actually not get it, or is he like on several layers of irony?
Yeah, I think I've been chosen to interpret this as several layers of irony, and just went, no, I can't even bear to look at this man. Like, but if he is here, we should find him.
So the letter, who has it?
Well,
I
you have it.
assume
You just took it around.
I assume you
Yeah.
put it in the vault, but maybe you didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, we could put it in the vault, but then we are all leaving, and we're going to be leaving it with what? Bald Murad
Yeah.
and Pilot.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it's
the
much
vault belongs,
safer.
But...
It's much safer if I keep it in this sick ass vest I have.
Okay, sure.
Oh no.
Okay, so you're
Action point on Saida's list, number 1. This vest needs to be just removed.
Mushfiq, can I
So
have
you
this
have
letter?
decided that Alkader was in fact right, and that the vest is the best
Yeah.
place to keep the letter. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. He thought it was a kind of shit place to keep the letter. That's why he came to you. But fair enough.
No, it doesn't have an envelope, and you said that. Why am I speaking like him out of character?
Yeah.
It doesn't have an envelope, and we
Uh-huh.
established that it had a really fancy envelope. So technically,
Yeah.
this vest's pocket can be a
A
worthy
fancy envelope. Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
it all
Uh-huh.
makes sense on a metaphorical level.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
very poetic. Anyway,
So-
I am asking Mushfiq. Mushfiq, can I have that letter, please?
Yeah, of course. Here,
What,
do what you will with this.
okay, what a goddamn idiot. I take it.
Yeah. As mentioned, it is
I'm
more a passport than a letter. But I imagine your
sorry.
characters, the difference is academic.
Yeah, the document.
I'm not building up Mushfiq to be a particularly bright
Okay,
character.
I think Emma, it's gonna be you and me who are gonna be the brains of this operation, and I gotta tell you that my brains are only for berating young children and making gods. So you may need to take care of everything else.
I mean, I was joking. I was kind of
Wonderful.
joking about it, but now I've realized that I am in fact role playing as kind of like a cat which is holding a grudge.
Yes,
Like,
perfect.
Are cats famous for holding grudges?
yes, my mother once yelled at my cat for something. I don't know. I think he knocked something over, and then he ignored her for a week.
Damn.
Oh my god.
That's really some advanced grudge holding. Also, completely different question. How many points of load is the document?
Oh, that's a good question.
I would assume none, because
It's just a passport.
a sword is a point of.
I am joking.
I see.
It's only 1 point of load if Zaida is holding it.
Yeah,
That's
if Saida is holding it, yes, correct. Yeah.
No, then it's like 5 points of load.
It's like the mental load. You know, she has to be in
Yeah.
heavy just to be in its possession. It's why when Saida left the room, they did not like take it with them. Otherwise,
You know
they
what?
would have said they would have.
You
Go
know
on.
what? You should have an ability. You should change your ability to my items exist only in my head. You have a thought cabinet.
Oh no! Oh,
Items,
no!
items emerge from abstract thought.
We are not playing Disco Elysium.
This is the only way in which mental load makes any sense.
I can just imagine like if Zaida is in heavy load, she's just like she's not walking around with a lot of like armor and weapons. It's just she's constantly sweating, and therefore she's not like unnoticeable. What's the word? Discreet.
not discreet. Yes, excellent. So where is Saida and Moss going? Well, Saida going and Moss following.
Yeah, I mean, so we don't have to do this right now. I mean, it could also be a flashback, but Saida does know somebody who is very well versed in forms. And it would only make sense to find out from Mr. Rohini what such a form could do, whether there is something I should be aware of, this kind of thing.
Sure. So you are essentially going to gather information from your contact.
Yes. Yeah.
So how do you contact Mr. Rohini since you have a personal relationship? Is this in fact by letter, by paper, or do you have some sort of actual place to go to have this conversation?
I do have a place to go to, in fact. I will go to the Chipped Cup, which we know is the place for spies to hang out.
Okay. Excellent.
And there is a code phrase to be said at the right time to a certain person. And if you say that, a meeting is arranged, right? And I'm going to go to a random word generator. Give me 1 second.
So you are going to the Chipped Cup. Yeah, which is a tea house and also a place where the opera performers hang out. So it's kind of an eclectic place, right? It's it's for espionage, but it's also people are there in very fancy clothes. There's a lot of scandal going back and forth. There's people in much fancier clothes than Bidrohi's vest. And a constant scent of jasmine in the air. Yep.
I do want to flag something, which is the Chipped Cup is also the location of my vice purveyor, Begum Prajapati. This is where I come to hang out, meet exciting people, and so on. And where, of course, I would also go to find out about this Omid person.
Okay, so you're going to the same place to gather information about different things.
Yes.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Excellent.
Okay. So, the Chipped Cup. Let us briefly paint the scene then, since it appears everyone is there. Except possibly for Mushfiq.
I think Mushfiq has to come. Just through inertia.
I think everyone is here. Yeah. So, starting with Mushfiq then, since this is probably your first time here, yeah? What what to you stands out as the biggest sign of luxury and decadence about this tea house?
So, given Mushfiq's vice, I think what he's going to look for, rather than what stands out, is the menu.
Yes.
Yes, and I think but the Chipped Cup, I don't think the menu is very there's not a lot of stuff in it, but it has very kind of what to people who've grown up in Uduasha might just sound like, oh, it's just a whole lot of waffle, right? It's just making it sound fancier than it actually is.
Yeah.
But every word of every description of baked goods over there, it's a very small exclusive menu, and he's just he's just enamored at the menu, so much so that he isn't even taking offense to chai tea latte.
Yes. Wonderful. Yeah. So you're distracted by the menu, which is probably, I imagine this is the sort of place where the food is very fancy but very small, right? Because this is not a place where you go to eat to get full. So
you should have the shoe pastry. It is not, in fact, made in a shoe. And it is not spelled shoe either. I am told.
Made with the shoe then.
Yeah.
I do not understand it at all. It is some accuracy thing, but it's very good.
Actually, French is Savarosi, so it must be Savarosi.
Well, Bidrohi does not know everything about local customs. Speaking of Bidrohi,
no, that's fair.
I think the question for you is, what's the latest fashion? What's everyone in here wearing?
Vests.
Okay, vests is the thing that is in fashion. Okay, fantastic.
I mean, why else would I want a vest?
Yeah, makes sense. So,
Legends say that the entire district of Bundervest was named after just Alkader's clothing.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a Wundervest. Is the current description word of the fashionable
Wundervest.
Yes.
Wundervest.
Okay, so there's vests / Wunderbras. Fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, so people are wearing like elegantly embroidered vests, probably styled after like some opera that's popular right now, right? Like there was the costuming and people copy it. This is the sort of thing that tends to happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your Goths as well who are just wearing black vests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
all that.
Fantastic. Yeah. Saida, since you are the resident occultist, what about the chipped cup hints at the ghost field?
Interesting. Well, I think because the chipped cup is in one way like extremely cosmopolitan, right? But not in a touristy way.
Mhm.
In a this is where a lot of tradecraft happens kind of way.
Yeah.
I think that there are many different traditions of like protecting yourself from the ghost field like here, and they all kind of interact with each other in some way, right? So like for example, the Uduashans, it is so clear that they don't even bother, right?
Yeah.
They don't wear anything. A lot of the Akarosi have like spirit bane charms and demon bane charms. People are covered with the stuff. I think that maybe there's a few Taikarosi here who have what is something that like we have actually not seen at all that would be sufficiently like, maybe the Taikarosi have like tattoos, right, that are arcane in some way. And you can kind of see when they speak to someone wearing a spirit bane charm, they're like just a bit uncomfortable, like the temperature in the room is just a bit warmer than you would like, right?
Right. So there's cosmopolitan magics in here, meeting and clashing with each other. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so when Saida enters, they can kind of like see all of this and kind of go, "Oh man, yeah, this is that kind of place, right?"
Yeah. The last question is from Moss, which is both about the place and about Moss, because you are very, very good at blending into a crowd. And so I think the question for you is, how do you blend into a crowd at this place where everyone is like, most people are wearing heavy makeup, they have really fancy clothes. How do you go about blending in? What does it look like when Moss just effortlessly disappears into this crowd? Do you change your appearance, or do you just like hang out with the staff, or how do you do it?
I think in this particular case, she'll insert herself into conversations that happen like right next to Zaida.
Yeah.
And she'll like do it with a sort of like, sometimes it's just like a worldly person who has been lots of places and I'm just on a camping trip. Sometimes she pretends to be like, she never says so, but implies that she is like the Victorian equivalent of a scruffy CEO, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you are a cool exotic foreigner, and that weirdly makes you fit right in with this crowd.
Yes.
So you blend in by being exotic. Very cool. Yeah. So yeah, Moss is here invisibly.
I think she blends in. Sorry, I think she blends in by being a hipster specifically.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Excellent. Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. So Moss is here invisibly, just joining the other hipsters, and let's start with Saida. Even though, like, Saida and Bidruhi will probably spot each other at some point, but you're dropping a code phrase to someone.
Yes. Yeah. So I generated 4 words, and they are predator, attraction, quality, and corruption. So I think, I think that they're a great set of words. So I think I will turn up, and there is like somebody who I've been told is like always going to be like, right? Like, this is the person I need to like make contact with, and it is someone wearing a mask of I think it's the mask of like a traditional predator in Iruvia, in the desert in Iruvia, right? Like maybe like a Deathlands lizard or something, right?
Yeah.
And like the mask is very distinctive, so I will go up to them and sit down, and I will merely say, well, the quality of corruption the chipped cup attracts has fallen in recent years, has it not? And like she's doing this in an accent in order to be like, oh, this is how spycraft works.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're meant to put on an accent? Right.
Uh-huh. Yes, of course. And I think the person in the lizard mask turns towards you, and you see their eyes glitter under the mask. They smile and nod. And yeah, they predator attraction. Yeah, you've nailed all the keywords. So
Yeah.
there's nothing for them to say. I think they don't even say anything. There's a smile and a polite nod for you to indicating for you to wait. And then this person is going to get up, and a different person wearing the same outfit is going to come back. This is how the exchange works. You will have to wait for some time.
Yeah.
But then a person looking similar, but not the same person. Like you can tell a little bit, like a little bit shorter, a little bit different build, but dressed exactly the same is going to come back. But this will take a little while. And I imagine Bidruhi's approach to gathering information is less patient. So what does Bidruhi do meanwhile as Saida sits in the secret corner?
Hey, have you heard of this man called Omid?
Yeah. Shouting it out. Fair enough. I think you're just rolling straight away. Let's see if this works.
Yeah, me. I'm just. I'm deep in my cups with my friends. I have Bushwick next to me. I don't know if he's drinking. I have obviously given him wine. And I'm talking to my best friend Leo, a painter. And you know, just like, what's the goss?
Yeah, totally. Take a bonus for Leo the painter, and tell me a little bit about Leo.
Leo is actually under the retainer of House Unruckus. His keywords are lovelorn, giddy, and loyal. He is the secret lover of someone in Unruckus. I have no idea. He keeps this one under wraps. Even to me, I don't know who it is. But I know that he is someone's skipped man. Which is the only... I mean, his paintings are fine, but they are not House Unruckus level fine, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, he's quite handsome. I have cast him as Dev Patel because I found a picture of Dev Patel that looked appropriate.
Excellent.
Yes. Nice guy. Good friend. Okay, I'm rolling concert.
Yep.
You need an assist of some kind?
I am always happy to get an assist.
Okay, in that case, I will assist by... So you've just shouted out to the room, you know, has anyone heard of Omid?
Mind you, the reason I'm shouting is because there's music everywhere. It's loud.
Yeah.
Okay. I will. I'm gonna. So this might cause. I might have to do like a flashback, or this might cost me some stress. But I Mushfiq's gonna fiddle around in his like pockets and bring out like a very unflattering sketch of Omid and go, looks like this, a real bastard, right?
Incredible. Yeah. All right. Spend the stress to assist. Pindri, you have 2 bonus dice to this.
Excellent.
Yep. I think it's still a fortune roll. I don't think anyone's going to like jump you in here. Like you're not being subtle, so there's no risk of being discovered because you will be.
Yeah, it's a 5. I say, oh no, look, do not let the ugliness of this portrait fool you. My friend Sher Khatam here, he is in love with this man.
Fantastic. So yeah, Saida, you have definitely noticed Pindri at this point. This is... And,
the problem is that I need to really appear professional, so I cannot stand up and yell at these people. I need to be like that. I'm just here drinking my drink, being totally normal. So I cannot. Yeah. I wish I could respond, but I can't.
Yeah. And I think the gather information here, Moss, you are monitoring this situation, so you'll also notice this. And I think a person from your like gang of hipsters and travelers breaks off here. It's
gang of hipsters and travelers.
Yes. Well, this is the gang you're blending in with.
Just the phrasing.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
It's the content of a hostel in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Oh god.
One of these people breaks off and heads towards Bidruhi, like apparently eager to share some gossip. It looks like someone who normally hangs out in the foreign quarter, probably. And yeah, it's a woman. Dressed much like you are, right? From the same stock of people who drift around, do odd jobs. And she will approach Bidruhi and glide up and say, "Oh, I've heard of the man. In love with him. Unlucky. Not a good man to fall in love with."
Mm-hmm. I mean, that is Sherekhatam's type, bad boys.
Bad.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes. Aadiyat is not here. He has BRB, so I can say whatever the hell I want about Sherekhatam while he's not here.
Yes. And I think this woman kind of sadly shakes her head and she says, "He and some of his gang came skulking into town under the cover of night. They had some sort of deal. I know the type, I think."
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They had
Tell us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She tilts her head and she says they had something to sell on the black market, to be clear.
Mm-hmm. And where are they now? Do you know?
Foreign quarter still, I imagine.
Foreign quarter. It's not much fun there.
No, it's not. Not unless you have the right papers that tell you can go everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. And Bidrohi is like, he has a moment where he kind of like says, and I have excellent papers, and he shows the papers, but like he doesn't actually do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you? So out of character, is this lady attractive?
She has a certain rugged charm to her, I think. She's definitely not, she's not one of the opera singers. She's not one of the elegant people. She's definitely not attractive in the, perfect hair, perfect teeth, perfect clothes, right? But she has a certain sort of rugged charm to her, I think. She is, I think, one of the few people in Uduasha who has been to other cities. That's why she knows the foreign quarter, right? And that's why she has the gossip from there.
All right. Not Bidrohi's type then. And I don't think Bidrohi does like honeypots and so on. So he's a straight shooter in that respect. And then he says, okay, it sounds like you don't like this man, this Omid at all. Like and I think like his like jocular voice is kind of like fading away, and he's like actually leaning forward and like kind of like not whispering as such, but like speaking quieter. You don't like this man, yes?
He's not a professional, he says, with the kind of pride that a professional has.
Not a professional what? And I'm trying to gauge like what she is in fact as well.
Yeah, caravan guard, she says.
I see.
And then she returns to her cup.
And would it be something in your interest if this Omid person were lightly taken care of?
I think she looks at you with a quizzical expression and says, "Taken care of?" And I think you have to roll here. I think you're at risk here. It is a controlled position, but this woman is like she's eager to share gossip, but it's not like she is necessarily his enemy. So I think you're at controlled limited.
Okay.
By default.
Controlled limited. Yes, or even if you want, more than a little likely. So I'm happy to make it risky standard.
Okay. Risky standard it is.
Wish Aadiyat was here, but
I can assist you actually. Okay. If Aadiyat can, that's fine.
I am asking this lady if they are interested in us taking care of the problem of Omid.
I heard all that. I was just thinking of what to how I go. But yeah, I think I will continue the path that I am going, which is to be very unsubtle and go, take care of him. Show him a good time. And then there's take him for a ride.
Oh no, Sherekhatam, stop thinking with your dick. Okay, I know you. No, we will kill him.
So, I think it's clear to this woman at this point that she's in way over her head, but you can still succeed in getting some information out of her. And I'm wondering if there's an interesting devil's bargain here, because I think it can easily be framed as it. Yeah, I think the straightforward devil's bargain is that this is a chipped cup, a famous residence of spies. The devil's bargain here is simply like, if you're willing to be overheard by other people, because the consequence is pertaining to her, you can have a bonus dice. But then people will know that you are basically in the assassination business. This is the reputation you're going to get in the chipped cup.
Oh,
Out of character, I think this is great.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a sexy reputation to have.
it is a sexy reputation to have, but I also think it's very logical if you go like, "Do you want this man taken care of?"
In
People are
fact,
just listening are going to have it sound like you are being like, "We're assassins. Please give us a job." So
okay, so I think the last bit,
Like,
Sharakhatam, stop
what?
thinking with your dick. Okay, we will kill this man. Was loud.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And
So-
for
And
the
again,
audience.
Saida
Yeah.
is just like, oh my.
Mhm. Okay, so you're taking the bonus dice at the Devil's Bargain. Fair enough.
Yes, yes.
You now have a reputation as assassins, at least in the chipped cup.
Or at least people who want to be assassins. Let's see how it
Yeah.
actually ends
Mhm.
up going.
Mhm.
It's a 5.
Okay, excellent. Let me just note this down. I'll put it in GM notes for now. Yeah, okay. So you get your effect, and what information do you want out of her here?
Exactly where he is, if she
Yeah.
can. Basically, I'm trying to like, can she? I was imagining
Absolutely.
like, yeah, she could like point us exactly towards where he is and so on, like, and all that.
Absolutely. I think with standard effect, she can do just that. That's. I was just double checking, that this is the sort of thing you want.
Mhm.
And she says, "Yeah, I know where he is. He is in a small flop house not too far from the Office of Foreign Taxation. They have rented a place there for their work animals and their things. It's a boarding house and a storage room." And she gives you a description. Says like, you can't miss it. And then she will say, then she gets up and leaves. I think she was a little bit drawn in by like, you being attractive and flashy, and she thought this was fun. But she will tell you about this, and then she's going to leave. And the consequence here is that she's going to tell Omid that apparently, he has enemies.
some-
Maybe not tell him directly,
Yeah.
but she's going back to the foreign quarter and be like, "Yo, guys, there's going to be trouble."
I think I see her about to leave.
Yeah.
And I say, and then I think I'm like chewing on the. I think I'm drinking something that actually has a straw, like a literal straw.
Mhm.
And I chew on
Yep.
the straw, and then I say, actually, if you see Omid, and I give her a sort of smile. I was like, yes, I know what you're going to do. If you see Omid, tell him that Mr. Alkader's vest, I am wearing it.
Okay.
So basically,
I
I'm trying to entice her into saying something that might get Omid to attack us instead.
Okay.
Ah,
I
okay.
guess this is a resistance roll, actually. You're trying to change the nature of the consequence. So, sure.
Yeah. I'm
Uh-huh.
hoping that he picks up on, like, she probably has no idea what the fuck I'm saying, but he probably would understand it.
Mhm.
Insight, unfortunately, I think is the one that makes the
Mhm.
most sense.
I think so.
So I might accrue a ton of stress right now. Let's see what happens. No, it's too stressed. That's not too bad.
Yeah. So she says, "I'll let him know." And I think you see on her that it's not that she was planning to go back and meet with him personally, right? It's more, people in the foreign quarter batten down. There's apparently some sort of gang fight happening. But now I think what you've done is you've given her the means to ward off this happening in the foreign quarter, and she understands that. So she's like, fair enough, if I say this, there won't be a fight anywhere near me where it's a problem. They're
Mhm.
good enough for me. So,
Very good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to have a fight in the foreign quarter. That place is boring as shit.
yeah.
Here close the doors to the House of Endings. Those who dwell within are Zoheb, called Klow, Aadiyat, called Zoheb, Soumithri, called Tree, and Emma. I have been Prince, your host. Our city of Uduasha is based on Blades in the Dark by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions, with special thanks to Johnstone Metzger. Follow us on Twitter or support us on kofi.com/desperateattune. If you want to engage further with us, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/desperateattune, where you will get our newsletter, extra content, and updates from Uduasha.
on the next episode of Desperate Attune.
And then I'm just gonna turn and look at where Bidrohi's like left. And then I'm gonna turn back and look at you and say, I'm not kidding about the elder sibling stuff. He really needs an influence like that, and it's not gonna be me, because he thinks I'm an auntie.
And would that be wrong? She says with a big grin, very much like joking to like deflect the question.
Yeah, and I think like I will just say, aunties don't do the kinds of things I do.